because everything is still seen as a series of apparent causes and effects. That you have to be able to get to a place in your life where you can step back and realize that there are really two kinds of time. One of the kinds of time is what I call horizontal time, or cause and effect time, or the scientists call chronos time, chronological time. This happens, and then this happens, and this causes this, and this is the cause and effect. And we have a tendency in our lives, as we look at all of the things that happen to us in our lives, to believe that everything has a cause and effect relationship. And so the reason that I am here today is because of all the things that I have done, all the choices that I have made, and they have led me to this place. But then there's another kind of time. And this is a kind of time that is called eternal time. And this is a line that doesn't go horizontal, it goes vertical. It goes straight up to our source of being, to the place that we come from. And this line is a kind of time that is deathless, and is birthless, and is eternal, and it is always there. And when you get to a place in your life where you cross that line, when you see the place where horizontal time and vertical time cross, you have this realization that me, this personal me, this ego of mine, is not the thing that's making all of the choices, that there's something else that is involved. I called my publisher, and I said to him, I want to step back. I want to step back from my life because I know that there have been forces or powers or some kind of energy that has been impacting me throughout my entire life. And I've been able to step back, and as it says in this quotation, it's so important to realize that everything isn't just coming from the past. There are things that are coming from the future as well, that we're always pulling out. It's like, I just talked to someone who has a little baby. Little baby's just a few months old. And I said, you realize that the little baby's wisdom teeth are already there. They're not going to come out of the past. They're already there. We're going to pull them out of the future. They're not going to show up for another 20 years or so, and that there are going to be choices to be made at that time. What do you do with them? Do you leave them in? Do you cut them out? All kinds of things. But there is this sense that not only is there a chronological cause and effect time taking place, but there's this eternal time in which everything about, for example, our entire physical being has already been handled for us. You know, it's like what your height is going to be, and what the color of your skin is going to be, what the color of your eyes are going to be, and when your hair is going to fall out. I know the experience very well. So what I decided to do was to take a look at what were the circumstances and the people and the events and the things that kept showing up in my life, going all the way back to the time that I was just a little baby, all the way up to just recently at the age of 73, which is the age I am now as we record this show. Something took a hold of me and said, write this. And I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote, just because there was something that was pulling me in the direction of this is something that I absolutely had to do. And I started to realize that that's really the story of my entire life, and it's the story of all the rest of our lives as well. A great teacher of mine, his name was Carl Jung. He said, at the very same moment that you are a protagonist in your own life and you're making choices, he said, at the very same moment, you are also the spear carrier or an extra in a much, much larger drama. And then he said, you are all doomed to make choices. There's almost an awareness that there are no wrong roads to anywhere, that there's no accidents, that as we go along there are course corrections that we can make, that every experience that we have in our life is there to teach us something. It's a very, very powerful awareness that yes, I'm making choices, but I'm also making choices within a context of everything is already laid out for me as well. I have to live with those two opposite points of view, if you will. And there are moments that come along in your life when you realize, yes, I'm making choices, but oh my God, there's also something else that is pulling me in this direction and is asking me to do that. And it's true of every single one of us, every single one of you that are watching. It's something that each and every one of us have. And every once in a while, you'll hit that quantum moment when your chronological time and your vertical line cross, and you realize, I have a choice to make. And you can either make that choice to follow and take that divine guidance that's come along and to look up that eternal plan. I just call it the eternal plan. It's not really a memoir. It's really a compilation of the quantum moments that have taken place in my life. There was a great teacher of mine, a poet, who lived back in the 13th century. His name was Mevlana, which means our master, Jalaluddin Rumi, the great poet Rumi. And he said, when you are born, a ladder is placed before you to help you to escape from this world. All of us are here, we're in this world, filling out the forms, paying our taxes, and doing all the things that we do as physical beings, but we're really not of this world. Who we are, our true essence, isn't of this world. So I took a look at the rungs of this ladder, and I put it together in 5 acts for this particular show. The first of these acts, the name of this act is the willingness to see clearly now.